Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about BJ Penn versus Clay Guida. This fight is going down UFC 237 May 11th, so let's get right into it. BJ the Prodigy Penn is the former lightweight and welterweight champion. He's an absolute MMA legend. He's competed in the featherweight, lightweight, welterweight, middleweight, and even light heavyweight divisions. Penn is a fighter's fighter. He's taken on all challenges and all comers in his career. Penn's nickname is the Prodigy with good reason. He won gold in the World Jiu-Jitsu Championships in the year 2000, and he acquired his black belt in roughly 3 years. On average, it takes about 10 years to acquire a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. BJ Penn's record is 16 wins with 13 losses, 2 draws. On paper, you look at that record and you think he's not that good, especially if you're new to the sport of MMA. But I can assure you that BJ Penn is one of the best to ever do it. Some would even argue that he's the best fighter of all time, based on overall skill set and raw talent. When you fight the best and take big challenges, there's a high risk of losing. Many times BJ Penn took fights that he probably shouldn't have. He fought bigger and very skilled opponents, but he didn't care. He just wanted to test himself and was up for the challenge. And that is just BJ Penn. Penn in his heyday was a killer. He had a great ground game, really crisp boxing, heavy hands, extremely durable and tough, killer instinct. BJ Penn is the man, period. If you're a fan of MMA, you're a fan of BJ Penn. In Penn's last 10 fights, he's only won once. Needless to say, BJ Penn has been on a huge slump. He's not the same fighter he once was, and many have called for his retirement a long time ago. But in classic Penn form, he's fighting Clay Guida. I personally don't like this fight for him, but I'm going to get into that a little bit later. Clay the Carpenter Guida is the former Strikeforce lightweight champion. He's competed in WEC, King of the Cage, Shudo, true veteran of the sport. He has a mixed martial arts record of 34 wins with 18 losses. He's a pretty entertaining fighter. He just goes and goes. Guida has always had like an energetic style. He grinds and wears his opponents out. Guida has decent striking, but his bread and butter is definitely ground control and ground and pound. Once he gets you on the ground, he's relentless. He doesn't let you back up, scores with non-stop ground and pound, and he basically breaks his opponents. So how does Clay Guida match up with BJ Penn at this stage in their careers? Well, first, I just want to say that BJ Penn in his prime takes this fight easily. I don't even think it would have been a real contest. I think 9 times out of 10, Penn in his prime handily beats Clay Guida. But present day, I think it's very probable that Clay Guida defeats BJ Penn and possibly stops him. I think Penn's skills and durability has degraded way worse than Clay Guida's, and I think what's going to happen is he's going to ground and pound him to a stoppage. It pains me to say that because I'm a big BJ Penn fan. Nothing against Clay Guida, but if Penn was in his prime, that just wouldn't happen. Every time Penn fights, his fans always have like a glimmer of hope that the old Penn shows up, and we'll see some vintage action, some spectacular stoppage by Penn, and that just doesn't happen. I think BJ Penn should have retired a long time ago, but he's a grown man and a legend. He's a fighter through and through. It's in his heart, so if the man wants to compete, that's on him. But it does suck to see him lose, and lose badly, and drop fights that he could have won. So what I see happening in this fight is Clay Guida engaging Penn on the feet for a little bit and taking the safe route, taking Penn down. Penn, despite his legendary takedown defense, not being able to stop the takedown and basically getting run through. I think BJ Penn is a shell of his former self, and I just see Clay Guida repeatedly raining ground and pound on Penn, getting the stoppage at some point. But you never know. Strange things happen in MMA. Maybe the old dog Penn has one more trick up his sleeve. It would be pretty awesome if he can beat Clay Guida and then truly retire, but I don't see it happening. I think at this point Clay Guida has more in the tank than Penn, and he's going to get the win. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this matchup. Are you excited for it at all? Who do you got winning and why? Thanks for watching this segment, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.